Hello guys, welcome back. Today's video is not going to be a normal vlog. It's actually going to be a get ready with me for my 27th birthday dinner with Owen, my boyfriend, my partner. Yeah, I just wanted to do a get ready with me and I thought it would be good for my birthday. I don't know, even though like I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. My hair, I was at a work event today, so my hair is still up and I'm still wearing like my work outfit. And I got myself an iced coffee, so I'm ready for this video. I am definitely not a makeup creator, so people are probably like, we don't care what you get ready with, but I am gonna kind of tell you. So one thing I'm really liking at the moment is the Sculpted by Amy Second Skin in the dewy finish, and I just think it's quite nice. So I'm gonna do that all over, but first I'm gonna do my skincare, which is just this, and then some Flawless Filter setting spray before I put anything on. So yesterday evening I was journaling, so I'm trying to like get back into my journaling era because I normally forget about the fact I journal, and then it comes to like the end of the year and I flick through it and I'm like, I haven't documented how I feel or like what's going on in my life. So the last couple of days I've been journaling, and last night when I opened it up to kind of do the feelings before my birthday and just kind of like generally how I was, I realized that I'm on the last page of my journal, and this journal I bought in 2017 and I never used it, even though at the front of it had like a 2017 like calendar on it. And then in 2019, which 2019 is like 2018 to 2019 is the beginning of my chaotic era, I was depressed essentially. I was really anxious and depressed, and I remember I went up to Dublin with my sister because I was in such a bad way with anxiety. She was still in college in Trinity at the time, and I went into Trinity with her and I was just sitting. I'm pretty sure I actually have a vlog of this, and I just sat down and wrote in my journal about how terrible I felt because I was like seeing this guy and he just kept like either leaving me on red, just not messaging me, and we were after like sleeping together and everything, and I just felt like I was completely all over the place. In the journal entry, I'm so anxious, and even when I read back in it I can feel the anxiety that I had in 2019 now. And then from there I continue, me and that guy end, and then the rest of my journal is just talking about like friendship scenarios, new lads I was either texting, dating. That journal basically documents everyone I dated between 2019 and up until my current relationship. And it's just so crazy like looking back on 2019 Rachel, 2020 Rachel, 2018, 2021, and just how anxious and in some cases depressed. And now I just feel like a different person, and I think largely it comes down to dealing with my own issues head on, and then also aging and getting to 27 and realizing that life doesn't end at 23 and it does get better, and you're not going to constantly be in this cycle of men treating you terribly. And even now when I'm on Twitter, like I don't really use Twitter that much anymore, but I keep seeing tweets from girls either younger than me, yeah, it's always younger than me, so like say they're now like 21 or 23, and they're full of emotion and it just seems like everything is so hard. And it actually breaks my heart reading their tweets because I know exactly how they feel and what they're going through, but like you can't help them. Like, and I don't mean as in they won't accept the help, but when you're going through that, as I know because I was that person, you just don't listen to anyone and you think you know everything and you think every decision you make is correct. And looking back as well, I just wish people were kinder to people in their early 20s, because you were so recently a child essentially. Like think about it, like when you're 19, the next age is 20, then 21, 22, obviously that's how time and age works. But if you were to like calculate how close you are to the age of 30 versus how close you are to the age of 15, you're always closer to 15 when you're in that kind of bracket, and it's just such a hard time to navigate, and you're full of hormones, you're full of emotion, and especially if like you're a woman, like you're probably going through like extreme hormonal changes, so you don't know if you're coming or going. And it's just a really hard time and age to go through. So if you take anything from this get ready with me, which I need to go get a light because I feel like the natural light is slowly declining, and you're younger than me, it gets so much better. And if you're older than me and you're like, Rachel, it hasn't gotten better, obviously I'm not going to make assumptions here, but one of my pieces of advice would be, look at what you can do to change that. TikToks or Instagram reels, not of people I know, but like just of other people, and they're talking about like being anxious or being depressed, and they're talking about like all these things that they're trying to do to like help themselves. And like I fully agree, like I've been there and I've done all those things and I still do all those things, but sometimes it does get to a stage where you have to wonder, do I need more help? Like, is talking to my friend and going for coffees and going for walks, like, is that enough? Because sometimes it just isn't enough, and you might need a little help of an antidepressant, you might need specialist counseling, you might need someone to like sit you down, see if there's something else going on. Obviously I'm not a mental health professional, but just as my own, this is my own personal opinion from my own personal experience, sometimes feelings of depression and anxiety, that's a symptom of something else that's going on with you. And obviously you can just be depressed and you can just be anxious, but for a lot of people there is an underlying reason why you're anxious or why you're depressed. So for me, I used to get really anxious and depressed when it came to relationships, and again, I used to have a video talking about having relationship anxiety, as I thought it was, and that was like when I was 21. And now looking back, I didn't have a made-up thing called relationship anxiety. I had ADHD, and that's what made me so hyper aware of my relationships and so fragile when things didn't go how I had planned them in my head. And that's why, like, if I felt like someone was like pulling away from me, it was the worst thing in the world, and I was like, how am I gonna cope? This is the end of my life essentially. So if you feel like you're in a really bad space at the moment and you're trying everything that people do recommend and you're like, I think there could be something more, definitely don't just leave it. Like, do follow up and look into it, because you're almost always right. Like, maybe you might think you have ADHD and you don't have that, you might have something else, or you know, like there could be something going on, as in like a relationship where a person is strained, and then that's like falling into your normal day-to-day life. But definitely don't just leave it, and definitely don't just try and like fight through it yourself. Because obviously now I'm nearly 27. I started antidepressants this year, so when I was 26, and I started sertraline. I always say that wrong, and it's because Owen says it wrong. He says citrulline, so then I say citrulline. Sertraline, I started that this year, and it honestly changed my life. And obviously antidepressants don't work for everyone, and obviously my antidepressant that works for me mightn't work for someone else, and a different antidepressant might not work on me. But I went on the antidepressants because I was convinced I had PMDD, which is very likely, especially with the fact I'm already diagnosed with ADHD. So when I went to my doctor and I was like, I think I have PMDD, I just got so lucky with my GP that day, because she listened to me, she told me what she knew about PMDD, told me all my symptoms made sense, that it did look like I had PMDD, and then she was like, I'll give you your prescription for everything else, which was like my vitamin D and all that. And she's like, but I'm going to send you a couple of papers on PMDD, and then we're going to figure out the best treatment plan for yourself. And she explained that some people with PMDD might microdose antidepressants basically. So you take like a small amount of an antidepressant the week before your period and the week after, and then other people just take like 50 milligrams every day. And I started off taking 25 milligrams, and then I bumped it up down to the normal 50 milligrams. And it honestly just changed my life. Like, when I talked to Owen about it, like, neither of us can remember a time when I wasn't like this. But when I go back and look at old pictures or old vlogs, and I know that the person behind the camera recording is struggling with anxiety and struggling with like obsessive, completely irrational thoughts. Because I don't know if maybe I mentioned it in my like podcast video, but when we were in New York at the start of this year, that was like an amazing, such a great trip. I was struggling that entire trip, and we saw a couple, and they were like they were just chatting, but it looked like that they were breaking up. And we walked past them, and I was like, in my head I was like, oh my god, they're breaking up. And then when we went past, Owen was like, lol, that couple looked like they were breaking up. And that just triggered something in me when I was like, and in my head was like, oh my god, me and Owen are gonna break up, he's gonna break up with me, he doesn't like me, this is all like pretend. And it was just like so irrational, and I just wish I could go back and like hug Rachel of like early 2023, because she had no control over her thoughts, like obsessive thoughts, completely irrational, very mean things like I was telling myself, but obviously I had no control over it. And at this time, like, I was in therapy, I was exercising at least 3 times a week, I was seeing friends, I was talking to friends, like I was doing all of the things I was meant to do, and none of them were working. So I just think the main point of this little spiel of mine is, if those normal things aren't working for you, don't just leave it at that, and push and push and push and go to your doctor and see could you go on antidepressants. And as well, antidepressants aren't for life. Well, for some people they are, because honestly, if I could stay in these forever and they keep me at the level I am, I want to. But for a lot of people, you go on them for like a year and then they wean you off, and to see like has the chemicals in your brain or whatever like sort themselves out essentially. And the reason I'm kind of like in the headspace of like I wouldn't mind staying on them forever is because my anxiety and my bad moods go up and down depending on my like menstrual cycle. So it's essentially PMDD. So like if I'm a week before my period, I get so sad, and it's honestly just the worst. I used to call them like, oh, my episodes. Basically, I just get depressed for 2 weeks and then I don't want to do anything, and it's just horrible. But that's why I think it could be different for me, and could be different for a lot of women who have bad PMS or PMDD. Those anxious thoughts aren't related to chemicals. I don't know. I need to look more into it. And another person who needs to look more into it, or not person, but like the full medical field. Like, why are women's issues not like actually like taken seriously at all? But yeah, what's Owen texting me about? Anyway, Owen just texted me saying he has a surprise for me. So BRB. Okay, I'm back. Owen got me the most lovely Christmas flowers ever. And that's actually one thing about like having a December birthday. The flowers are just really pretty and like festive. So I'm gonna finish off my makeup. I'm pretty sure my base is like done. Also, I got a light, but also apologies if it's very bright now. It's going to look completely different from the beginning of the video. But yeah, as I was saying, I just want to give any girl in their early 20s like hope that like it does get better. And anyone who is over the age of me and you feel like that, like there are ways. Oh yeah, I wrote my name on this when I was like 16. There are ways, and there is help out there, so don't feel like you are alone, even though I know it can be very isolating when you're in that hate space and stuff. I got my brows done yesterday with Lavinia. I feel like every second time I make a vlog I come on to talk about my eyebrows. Got those done. I also got my nails done, and these are definitely like one of my most favorite sets ever by Tasha. So they're very similar to the nails Charlotte got for her 30th, but like they're the exact same actually as Charlotte's nails. So let me see if I can do this and for them to focus. So they're like pink chrome with like sparkles. Like, I just think they're stunning. So they are my birthday nails, and they're also going to be my Christmas nails because they're just so nice. So I wasn't actually sure what I was going to do with my eyes, as in like for eye makeup, but I think I might just do a wing and then like some glitter eyeshadow, which a wing is like probably like my most typical look, and then I might just like slick back my hair into a bun of some sort.
It'll make 'em ring. Yes, the holly that
Back in Stephen's Day,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
awful.
Grim. I wish there would ever.
Stop early, lads.
Okay, so this is what my makeup looks like right now. I'm obsessed with this Urban Decay Moon Dust. I feel like everyone's obsessed with it. I actually seen Louise McSharry talking about it on a TikTok, and I literally went and bought it as the TikTok was like still rolling. I bought it on Boots. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I put this on underneath. This is the Stila Trifecta Metallica Lip Eye Cheek Stick. To be honest, I won't be putting this on my lips. It's very, I don't know if you can see that, it's very gold, so I'm just going to put it on the bottom here and then just kind of blend it out so I have like something under my lower lash line, because I never normally put anything on there, and I feel like sometimes my makeup doesn't look like done because I don't have anything down here. Okay, I feel like my makeup is done. I'm gonna look so glittery as well, when back to my journal, when I was reading the journal last night, I like flicked back to a couple of like my old spreads from this time last year to kind of see like what I was doing and what I wanted to achieve. And then I also went back to, I think, December 2021, and then I gave my like hopes and dreams for like 2022. And one of the things I wanted to do was like to move away, and on it I wrote like London, maybe, because I kind of had my eye on moving to London. And it's just kind of surreal now, the fact that I'm actually moving to Australia in January, and it still doesn't feel real, because today I was at that work event and all the people I work with were like asking me all about it and like asking me questions like, am I excited, am I all ready to go? And like I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm ready. And I don't know, is it because like in my head like it's not that big of a deal, like I'm just kind of taking it as like an extended holiday. But I feel like now a lot of people go to Australia, but like, you know, they're coming back. It's not as if like they're gone forever. So to be honest, I'm really excited to move. And Owen, I haven't admitted this to him yet, but he probably already knows this, but like he has just been so good when it comes to like the planning and the organization of everything. Like he was the person who booked our first flights, and then when I was like I want to go somewhere else, he was the one who changed our flights. He organized our first, oh no, there's stuff all over me. He organized our first week accommodation in Brisbane, and it's like part of my birthday present. Like he's paying for us to stay in a hotel for the first week so that we can kind of like figure out what we want to do next. And then he also organized our B&B until, I think, is it March? Yeah, I think it is until March, so we fly out in January. But like, so he's already after organizing so much, and I'm just so lucky that like I have him and that he's able to help in such a huge way. And I feel like that takes a lot of the pressure off, because obviously like if I was moving by myself, I would I was gonna say I probably wouldn't be, I would 110% not be as calm as I am right now. I'm attempting lashes, I don't know why. This is probably gonna go terribly wrong. Yeah, I think that's actually kind of ugly. I think I'm going to take it off. Maybe I'm being really dramatic, but like, yes, my natural lash is nicer. Who would have guessed it? Not me, to be honest. I'm ready!
Oh my god, look at you, you look so beautiful. Do a little spin. Look at you, Rich, you look absolutely stunning. Oh my god, you look so nice.
So this is the final birthday look. So I'm wearing an ASOS skirt, a Reformation top, necklace, which everyone always asks me about. It's from Parfois. This denim blazer was a secondhand find in Brussels, and then my boots are black leather boots from Reformation as well. And I'm ready. I'm actually so happy with how like my makeup and hair turned out. My bag is this denim Tommy Hilfiger bag, which I also got in a charity shop, and honestly I think it's one of my favorite pieces. So there's my outfit. I'm very excited, and actually I'll bring you with me for dinner, so let's go. And also I'm shocked, I'm ready like in actual good time for once. So I'm just gonna put on some perfume, the Billie Eilish one, which I got for Root last Christmas, and then I figured out, well, she told me she hates it, so I took it. Now, let's go.